Back. We are now moments away from getting to the final game of the day. This is the quarterfinals. I am still joined by the ever delightful Dignitas Dogbert, and I am just going to give the teams the go-ahead that we are almost ready. And just in case you didn't realize, it will be InFamouS up against Epsilon. Maybe not actually. Yes, it is. I just saw Pyrogen tagged, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" But it is just these two. All is good. Okay, no worries. Dogbert, you still with me, buddy?
I am indeed.
That's all I wanted to hear. So, let me just let them know we are ready. And thank you guys for obviously getting in touch on Twitter and all of the other ways that I did tell you to do so. And there was some actual asks for the Dignitas game going on, the Gamers Connection one, but finding out that Dignitas aren't playing with their full squad kind of made me want to go towards this a little more. So hopefully you guys can, you know, be okay with this. I don't want to upset anyone, but you know, I thought it'd be the better game of the two because it was a fairly even vote through. But how come we're not seeing the full Dignitas lineup today? What's going on?
Well, Frantic is on holiday.
How could he go on holiday?
He went on holiday and he's been sending everyone pictures from his holiday. In fact, he sent out one today of a jewelry shop in Thailand, I think, called Ro8.
Oh yes, I did see that. That was quite interesting. I'll give him that.
Doing that. So so they're playing, I believe, with. Ooh, I shouldn't ever forget that one.
It's not Ziggy, is it?
No,
You've gone for a real stand-in this time.
Yeah, we want to at least try to win, you know.
Wow.
I think it's Jajetski, so I think he'll be playing in there. So there you go.
That's not too bad, at least.
Oh no, he plays more Dota now than Battlefield 4. But yeah, he's doing what he can. It's not a massive difference, but Sneaky's obviously just been in hospital as well recently, so a bit shaky. But you know, because they're one of the veteran teams, they kind of know that everything gets serious around about groups, and they will qualify for groups.
Well, at least you hope so.
Yeah, they'll qualify.
No worries, apparently. But anyway, back towards this game. InFamouS we've just seen. Looking quite strong, actually. Surprisingly so, now the FamouS has been removed. But Epsilon, how have they been performing so far?
Epsilon have been doing pretty well. I think their only defeats have been against Fnatic, which obviously is kind of regular in a way. They've lost a few go-4s. They've won one as well. So
pretty okay performance all in all.
Yeah, pretty good. Not as good as their previous run. But you know, it's a bit more competitive right now.
Okay, so every team's kind of stepping up. I'm hoping we see the same from them. Good to see them still actually holding their own to an extent, but we are just waiting for these guys to say they're ready. You can see kind of in the chat on the top left, so they're still just kind of making sure everyone's there. I think Tony's still AFK. So once he's back, we can get this one started. But guys, once again, I ask you to get involved on Twitter. Let me know your predictions, and you can come back to stare at me for a little while until these guys do get themselves ready. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. I do hope so. It shouldn't be too many issues. If he's just going to the bathroom, at least, I do hope there shouldn't be too many issues. Should be underway nice and quickly. So guys, once again, do make sure you do get involved on Twitter, and thank you for all the feedback so far. It's been incredible hearing from a couple of new viewers as well. It's always awesome to see you guys coming out. The hype from Hardline is real. It's transferring back to the other game. What are your thoughts towards the new game as well, Dogbert? Have you been keeping up much on it, or are you still reserving judgment a little?
I'm reserving judgment. Wait to see. Haven't really got around to playing it yet, so yeah,
fair enough.
Just kind of waiting.
And what is your name in chat? Kifodo. Actually, I did ask you guys to tweet, and the tweets were pretty even between the two. So I went with the one that had the full lineup. So don't you start trying to call me out, buddy. I've been keeping tabs. Who, as you said, there was one chat tweet saying it'd be I'd like to see Games Connection. They're fun to watch, etc. I tend to agree, but I'd like to see them against a lineup of a full team to see them really tested, rather than this kind of like a not a half-hearted team, but if you know you want to see them doing well, if you want to start forming an opinion of them, you want it against the best possible opponent. So maybe Dignitas right now are not in the best shape to be that opponent just yet, but I'm sure they'll get there. Don't worry, Doug. But anyway, I think we are all ready, and I think we'll be starting this one nice and quickly now. I think both teams are there. Dogbert saying he'll own everyone in Battlefield. I'm not sold. But to take you through the lineups anyway, guys. Epsilon Have Marzu, big player, someone to definitely keep your eyes on. David, Duke, Asterix, and Ro8. Ro8, the back cap master, basically the get right of Battlefield in the way he plays it out sometimes. Maybe not to the same extent, but you get the idea. Grim, Crema, Tony, Hysteria, and Perlin, who was absolutely phenomenal on the first map. And let's see what side they're on. So for the Chinese side, it will be InFamouS. And for the US side, it's going to be Epsilon. And straight away, we see Epsilon going for a bit of an aggressive start here, going straight out for that A challenge.
Yeah, and you can see InFamouS straight off about getting the double cap. And, you know, this is pretty good for them. They need to keep this going. They have shut down every pressure towards B, but that A flag is looking very vulnerable now, and only Hysteria there blocking.
Well, there was Hysteria there, and then Duke came around the backside. He went for the long rotate. It paid off, and they should be able to pick up A. So AC hold, not ideal, especially when Perlin's right next to it. Are they going to have to now focus on towards that B site?
Yeah, that's something that InFamouS really should have capped over a lot quicker. I think that C flag and B is perfectly fine, but they need to be quick on that rotation.
Let's see if they are. Hysteria's gone down again at B. Not having the best game just yet. He's been picked up and re-dropped down. David with a double, picking up 2, alleviating some of that pressure towards that B side. Such a pivotal one, bearing in mind. And the final player shall fall to Ro8's hand. That was Grim going down. So the A-B hold far more ideal, but there's a couple of players trying to sneak through. Marzu there catches a glimpse. Couple of nades come in. He does get a kill, but he goes down eventually. And A is being capped over, but there's certainly going to be a challenge here.
Yeah, definitely. Very fast and furious game from both teams here. And InFamouS playing that kind of crazy style and hoping really to just catch Epsilon off guard here. They're playing for this AC right now. They know Epsilon are having to defend B, and it's a one-on-one at A.
Well, the fight down on C went rather poorly, and it's gonna be David coming out on top over at A. So well played to him. B now being fought over as well. Ro8's under pressure. This is a very scrappy game between the two. No one really being secured just yet, but look at that. Finally, reinforcements come in towards this B site. There is still a man on here, and a double kill coming in on the reinforcements from Epsilon. Not going to really help out. David does sneak through. He goes down to the 2. And that's Crema coming in. Perlin as well, doing wonderfully so far. Certainly doing what he does best. Asterix, however, not really finding his way to the scoreboard just yet. He's still on 0-4. That's a little bit surprising to my eyes, but anyway, is the CB hold staying with InFamouS at present. Epsilon with the back spawn, though, might be able to switch that up at least towards the C flag.
Saying that, if Duke goes down here, and it's along with Ro8, they are going to have a trip cap against them. As you see, Hysteria trying to capture that A as well. This is a very back and forth game round. InFamouS are really making Epsilon pay for any mistake they make. Yeah,
and Hysteria's even picked up the kill on towards David, claimed that A site. Asterix is still close by, but he's not the guy you'd trust with this, would you? He's on 0-5 right now. It's not going to get any better. He does go down. A, B in the hands of InFamouS, and hell, they can even challenge out on C, let's bear in mind. Crema is still here. He'll be picked up by Duke, though, so he goes down. But still, an A-B hold without a flag actually being in the opponent's hands is just as beneficial for InFamouS, and they're going to sit back and watch this push across the street, set up nicely for it, and be ready and waiting. Very well done for InFamouS so far, but it's about maintaining B for me, in my opinion at least, because it's maybe the more ideal site for Epsilon to look first towards.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, Crema holding down the last guy up for InFamouS, actually. You need to be very careful here and be the safe spawn for the rest of the team. But because he is the last spawn up, it's very easy to work out where everyone is. And all of a sudden, if InFamouS lose their hand out of B, and they do, Crema goes down, and all of a sudden, InFamouS are going to be left with a C flag, and Epsilon now have their chance to start taking back a lead.
They certainly do. Epsilon finally getting their way into this, but it certainly took it took its time, being completely honest. But Duke and David, the D&D combo, going to town on InFamouS. Grim goes down, Tony and Perlin maintaining this A-B hold and even picking up C to boot. That is brilliantly done, but they've left A fairly light of people. You can see them falling like flies. Hysteria and Crema both picking up kills, leaving David very defensive, and they look like they want to hold on to this, but there we go. Crema goes down, switch up to the pistol. It's going all in favor to InFamouS on this A side. You can see the bodies on the floor, but the revives will be coming in on the InFamouS side, but they still don't have B or C, but they do have one man close by. Perlin could make a difference here.
Yeah, definitely, and they need to get that pick at B, or at least break through to C, but right now they got frustrated. They just got a 3-man push shut down, and the revives are coming in. InFamouS have just been stopped quite badly.
Yeah, let's be serious here. Epsilon are not a team that will look at maybe having a disadvantage and completely fumble the ball. They will still keep playing very well. You can never be safe and secure against this sort of caliber of team. Perlin and Hysteria will be picked up by the crossfire created between Ro8 And I believe that was David as well, if I'm not mistaken. I might be, but still. At the moment, we are seeing C being maintained, B being held, a unique site to hold down. And oh, David found the respawns, but he does go down to Kremer in the end. But still, B looking like it's still being pressured. You can see the shots going through. The nades are coming in. Obviously not the impact ones we had before, but still do a hell of a lot of damage. They do come to your feet. But the game's got a lot closer here. 77 to 82, Doug, but this is a very close game now.
Yeah, Marsu doing a brilliant job at B. Just getting kills and delaying the flag capture and tying down players from InFamouS who really should have been needed elsewhere. But because he were held down long enough, it gave the rest of the time for the team to capture the other flags. And there you go, InFamouS again stuck at B and wiped out.
Yeah, they are being slaughtered one by one. Asterix and Marzu, the kind of reinforcements coming in, did the job, but with that in mind, they left A fairly open for the taking, and Hysteria is not going to look that twice and turn it down. So he's going to head over there. They're going to pick up C. But you can see that a good couple of players from Epsilon are starting to eye up their options towards that C site. It's not maybe the ideal one, but with B and C in hand, you can kind of lock people down to A. But still, what is the best setup here for these teams playing right now?
You know what? None of one's playing a standard setup. Yeah. You can see that Epsilon are kind of trying to get that A-B, but everyone pivots on that B. But because InFamouS can't get control of it yet, they're really just going for whatever they can get.
Oh, but Mars are in a great position here. This could be trick cap, let's bear in mind. He needs to start moving fast, and Perlin's the one doing this. He's already taken down Asterix. Nade's coming in. He has reinforcements. This could be a triple cap. This is brilliant stuff from InFamouS. They do take down the final player, Duke, who was challenging out, but can Tony locate the final one who's kind of mulling around on the A flag? No, he can't. He'll be overwhelmed by 2 to 3 players, and then that's Epsilon back, at least on the board with a site, but that exchange has given the huge deficit of tickets now, and InFamouS could actually pick up a lead on the half here.
Yeah, definitely. Strong play coming in from David and Horik. They're really smart play on the flags, and with that, they're starting to slowly take a bit of control of that B flag. There you go, more spawns coming on B, and Perlo getting completely caught out. No need for him to still be there, especially when people had already broken through into B. And you know what, InFamouS, when they're on the offensive, it's all going great. But when they get caught out of position like that, Epsilon just look unstoppable.
They definitely do. AB back in their hands. In a blink of an eye, Epsilon have regained control and they look fairly dominant. Let's bear in mind, David did pick up about a 4-man while holding down the B site. So definitely giving them an edge here. And he's playing defensive. This is where Epsilon, I feel, are the slightly better side. As you said, they can play at both paces. They don't have to be constantly aggressive. They can play the slow down, lock it down game and play smart. Let's spin through the players. You can see that Asterix is the one maintaining the street and the long push down the west side. You can see Marzu now supporting the others like David here. David getting a little more aggressive, picking up the kill towards Perlin as well. So good work from him. Goes back again, but he does get shut down in the end by, I believe that was Grimjow. But now Duke pushing forward. He's going to have to be careful though. A's looking vulnerable, so he's going to maybe swing back to actually support this one out. And it's not a bad shout. Kremer goes down, but I don't think they realized that Perlin was there as well. So back down to a very even score, 34 to 36. This game could go either way here.
Yeah, definitely. And the chaos at the beginning really did favor InFamouS, and they took a big lead, and it's been a great comeback for Epsilon to get to this point right now. But they can't let this slip at this point because InFamouS are just all over them. They are constantly coming forward. Yeah,
they really are, and it's going to come down towards this B site again. Horik does find Perlin, and you're seeing it being maintained over in the Epsilon favor, but C is now being brawled over. Tony tucked in towards the corner, does get one, but he gets shut down immediately by Asterix, and we're seeing C, at least for now, going to the hands of Epsilon. But this is back and forth immediately. A smart play from Duke, look at that, heading straight down towards A, knowing it'd be light of players, picking that one up. Triple cap for Epsilon. This could be a done deal, but a nice spawn for Tony might give them a glimpse of hope, but it's going to have to happen right now, surely.
Yeah, that was a big 5-man wipe that happened around C and B. And those spawns, man, massive spawn at A. And that's going to give them the A flag, but they are going to have to move so quick. They need to get something onto B or onto C really quick, because otherwise this bleed is going to finish them off.
And Asterix is making that such hard work. He already's taken down Perlin. Finally, Hysteria stops him, but he's bought so much time. The route to B is not that long, but right now it's seeming like an absolute marathon. Grimjow picking up 2 on the cross, but it might not be enough. Those 20 tickets in the hands of Epsilon could be that final marker. 19 now, but 6 for their opponents. This looks like, even with Grim giving everything he can, it is going to be game over. Even he's slowing down a little. 3 tickets left, nades raining in, there's nowhere to run and hide. This will be a slight lead in the favor of Epsilon, and that triple cap right at the end really giving them the edge there. Brilliantly done. 1 ticket left. Maybe they can trickle a couple away, but not even being won over yet is gonna mean it's gonna be a 14 ticket lead to Epsilon, but that is not a big deal.
No, not all, but they were so far behind, and that comeback for them was
True.
really, really strong. And, you know, even though on the scoreboard, it might not say he got that many kills, but MarsU, such a pivotal player.
That
and right at the end there, yeah, he got 2 kills, and he could barely see them. He just shot their head straight off, and with that, kept them off from that. What could have been easy, they could have capped that B flag round, they would have capped that C as well, and that could have gone InFamouS's way at the end there.
It definitely could have done. We were pretty much seeing Epsilon winning off of 1 triple cap at the end. Other than that, it was InFamous being hot on their heels the whole way. It was a very close game, and considering David on 21-13, even those kills didn't really equate to a huge amount of ticket difference. He was just able to maintain that B flag with MarsU for that extra little bit of time. So certainly a brilliant start out for the Epsilon boys, doing very well to begin with. But towards the end there for InFamous, I feel that they're close to being on this very high-skilled cusp that we see teams like Fnatic and Epsilon, Dignitas constantly maintaining. But there's always that little bit extra that these higher teams can almost give, you know, the kind of 10% more they can dig down towards. But in the second half now, if Epsilon don't get that brilliant start they wanted, could we see them maybe struggling here?
You know, very possibly. And you got to think, in a way, Epsilon were probably quite shocked at how far they went behind at the beginning there. I mean, it was a good 30-ticket lead that InFamous had, and okay, they opposed their order on it eventually. That B hold for them was their go-to, and they did manage to get a few trip caps. But InFamous showed moments there where they really could threaten Epsilon, and it almost become a runaway effect at one point. Luckily, Epsilon stopped it, but man, it was a close run thing.
It certainly was. So let's get ready to get back into game. There we have it. And on the Chinese side this time around, it will be Epsilon. And on the US side, it will be InFamous. And straight away, we're seeing a 4-man stack out towards A from InFamous. They're going for the straight-up challenge here towards the A side. Hysteria and Kremer doing the work. Tony is supporting as best he can. They're picking up kills left, right, and center. And I think they've won out enough here. They will give them the A side. They've got C already. And well, Epsilon on the back foot straight away, but still, small ticket difference. It won't be like that second half in the last map we saw between the previous two. This is going to be a very close game either way you look at it, but this could be going down to a triple cap if, you know, InFamous had then supported that B site a little more.
And it's Kremer by himself over at A, and he's got the kill on Asterix. It's just Horik left, and reinforcements are coming in for InFamous, and there you go, gets the kill. Man, this is looking really, really good from InFamous. And what is it with them? They have strong starts, but it's from then, can they keep it going? Because Epsilon do seem to have that experience edge, but can keep it together even when it's looking bad.
They definitely do. Let's see if it does come into effect here. Perlin getting caught out on the cross. B is not going to be easy for the taking. You can see that InFamous want it. They want to get the bodies towards this side. They're picking up the kills, but it's definitely not clean. And Tony picking up a team kill is definitely going to hurt them here as the numbers swing desperately in favor to InFamous towards at least the point. But they don't have the bodies getting the kills. And let's bear in mind, MarsU, the king of B, comes back around, finds Hysteria, takes him down. And MarsU with Asterix in tow, doing the work that they can. A stays in the hands of InFamous, but the others are looking like Epsilon are wanting as much as they can get. They lost out on C though, so this could be still very much an InFamous game.
Yeah, InFamous doing a great job. They've been holding this lead for quite a while now, and Epsilon just haven't been making any headway on these flags, especially at A.
Finally though, we are seeing Horik making a push. Doesn't matter, Tony finds a kill. Asterix did take us down his teammate, so he knows there's more there, but where are the others? Where's the last standing teammates? Well, Grim's over at C, and that's it. Pretty much a squad wipe against InFamous then has really, really hindered their performance. A and B will now be able to get set up in the hands of Epsilon. They'll get their lockdown holds, which we know they are phenomenal at maintaining, and those tickets will be very even, very quickly, I can imagine.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, MarsU holding down that B flag and getting the kill on Hysteria, who's trying to sneak in behind, and just solid play on that B flag. And that's something that they need to keep control of.
Yeah, Duke picking up that one towards Kremer as he pushed along that east side road. But MarsU, as you said, let's stick on board with him, see how he's doing this at the moment. As I can imagine, as it is such a jump-off point on B, the InFamous side will want to get their hands on it very quickly, but at the moment the 4-man squad immediately in the middle of the map is holding these guys up. They're finding it very hard to push out, and you can see why. Even on the back there, Kremmer just making it through to cover. Pushing further forward, they might have to negate B and try and head over towards A, but they're going to leave C fairly vulnerable in the meantime and hope they can hold on while pushing. We have seen finally Ro8 going down, who's holding the flank, but only really Kremmer made it through here. As it looks like InFamouS might swing back around towards B, and while all this has happened, the score was pretty much even, and those tickets are starting to fall away from InFamouS now.
Yeah, and it's like what happened last time. Epsilon went behind, and then all of a sudden they just clawed themselves back into the game, and the same thing's happening here. InFamouS are trying this push on B, but it's just not working. And I really don't feel they should just keep throwing tickets away like this, and they should just focus on keeping this bleed going.
Yeah, I tend to agree when I'm seeing them literally. I'm trying to watch these guys, but they're dying one at a time. Whether it be Asterix or Marzu with this lovely little crossfire setup, certainly adding strain. And looks like Epsilon do want to pick up another flag, though. They are obviously just down towards B, and that's all they've got to boot. And they're not making their way towards A, but Asterix, a nice push around the side a little later than the others, does pick up the tag. But look at this, B is now being challenged out 2-1. Can Marzu pull off the magic again? He's going to have to get some respawns in, surely. Ro8 is down, so he could respawn on him, but that's a nice push around the side coming in. That was Kremmer doing the work. B's theirs. It's a triple cap for InFamouS. They clean up on A, and my God, this is Epsilon possibly in dire straits now.
Yeah, that was a disaster for them. I'm interested to see where these spawns are coming in. 2 people haven't spawned in yet, and all the spawns are down, and it's all above C, and that is the worst possible spawn you could get.
A beautiful shot from Marzu. Has taken out his Hysteria, but he's not able to gain too much ground from this. Literally a couple of inches here and there as they're making their way cautiously up towards the B site. You can see the nades holding them back. He's going to go for the straight-out challenge. Hysteria is there. Nice work. Takes down Kremmer. Can't get the second, however, as Hysteria will stand. Revive comes in, and that triple cap is maintained. And hell, even Tony could stop the A recap. This could be a massive, massive advantage for InFamouS if they keep this up.
Yeah, and the spawns were so close to coming in there over on Duke, and I kind of feel that if they had gone through, InFamouS would have cleaned them up as well, and that would have put them in a better position than they're in right now. And here you go, Epsilon are going to have a chance to go on the offensive. There's a kill onto Pearl, and all of a sudden, that A flag is vulnerable once again.
Yeah, Tony, pretty much the only man really standing towards here. He does have one player up to respawn in, but it doesn't matter. He got the respawns, actually, tell a lie. And now let's see if Epsilon can mop them up. The nade's coming through. Grim does find one. That's David down. And it looks as though they've won the battle. Brilliantly done. A is theirs, but B is left to the dogs. 4 players now shooting in. We're seeing the respawns coming in as fast as possible. A double pickup for Duke, and that's B in the hands of Epsilons, but they needed that in that second. 99-40. The tickets were getting low for Epsilon there.
Yeah, and they needed to pull something out of the hat, and they did. They stopped the bleed, but you know, this is looking really dangerous for them. But if they keep getting killed like this, then maybe it'll be okay. The problem is InFamouS is starting to swarm them, and they're picking up kills and getting revives. And slowly but surely, Epsilon are just bleeding away here.
Yeah, at the moment, 88-38. Let's remind ourselves InFamouS have the deficit of 14 tickets. Not a great deal, but it's enough. And this play from Perlin, it takes a while, but it could be huge. Long rotate around the back, respawns coming in towards him. Surely alarm bells will be ringing for Epsilon. They've not seen these guys in a while. They do find Marzu, but Perlin now under pressure. Swan diving down, leaving Kremmer to get involved on the side. He spots out a player by the car park. He takes down Duke, and that could be the site in their hands. Another long flank around the back from Asterix on the rotate. Will deny at least one. That's Kremmer down, but this has alleviated some of the pressure off B. InFamouS might be able to make a push out of this.
Yeah, and once again, they're going for this B push. They have got the kills onto Marsu and David 2K. And there you go, they get the kills on the rest of them as well. And it is just Asterix up. And there you go, that B flag will go over. And this is very dangerous for Epsilon now. They might lose out on this map here.
They very might well do. Asterix now does get the respawns in towards the middle of the building, but you can see the firing line that is being held by InFamouS at the moment. They don't need to push out too much. You don't have to get a triple cap. You just have to maintain. Perlin, however, a little late towards the west side of this map, might get caught out here, and he does. Going down towards Ro8. Respawns coming through, but only Asterix made it out alive. He gets taken down in the end as well. And this is looking like InFamouS could pick this one up. B, though, might be vulnerable, but is this too far away now for Epsilon?
Oh, they can always do it, but 14 tickets, and they need to win out of B. And they're throwing everyone into this B push, and they're just going to lose out at C as well. So they're not rotating quick enough to do anything here.
They're trying to get down towards A, but I don't know if they really have the time to maintain on B. They must hold here. Tony doing that is not going to help. This could be all over in a couple of seconds. Watch that kill feed. If it's looking Epsilon's favor, maybe they can hold a 2-1. At the moment, they have B, they have A, but any switch around, any catch out from the InFamouS side, it'll go the other direction. They must hold now. They must make a stand here, and this is do or die for Epsilon. They've got 6 tickets left.
Yeah, 6 tickets. Just off the kills alone, they could lose out here, but they can do this. They just need to be very careful, spot correctly, and get the revives when they can.
Let's find out. Duke doing the first bit of work. Good play from him. Comes around, tries to find Tony, gets absolutely destroyed, and that's made A look like it's ready for the taking. David trying to get back, the crossfire coming in strong. 50 tickets on the board for InFamouS. It's getting lower. B is still theirs. They must get help here. 3 tickets left. They're trying to reinforce, but they're going down. And it might be InFamouS walking away with a victory here. A is up for grabs. The rotate was too slow from Horek. They don't have the numbers. The kills are going InFamouS's way. It looks like this is going to be their map. And can you believe it? InFamouS picking up the first map, even after that initial deficit.
Yeah, that was a close run thing for both teams there. But, you know, I feel InFamouS were ahead in a lot of those, in both rounds. And really, and Epsilon did fight back. But, man, you know, InFamouS just stayed on them all the time. And eventually it broke Epsilon.
I can't help but to agree. It's been a very, not one-sided affair, but it was certainly a very hard-fought battle between those two teams seeming to come into their own at very different times. You know, if it seems that Epsilon can become very good towards the late game or when they get that ideal 2-1 setup that they wanted, but they were slow on the rotates, which is quite surprising to me because I look at them on maps like, you know, Zavod and things like that. They're constantly, you know, quick on the trigger, quick on the rotates. They looked a little slow there. Is that maybe a little bit rusty, you know, just from the down season or the slight bit of downtime, or is that just them not quite waking up in this matchup yet?
I think it's just the way they play that map as well. I think they were very comfortable in the fact that they were having so much success on that B flag. Maybe they just felt that, you know, it will come eventually, and, you know, it just didn't.
Well, next map, I'm not sure. It looks like we're going to Railway. I'm curious to see if they go for that as the defining one. I'd say InFamouS are quite strong on this. Could this be a worrying factor for Epsilon? Could they be struggling in the quarterfinals? That's not something I expected to say. I thought this was going to be a bit of a one-sided affair, but if it is Railway, is this a map that we could see maybe InFamouS picking up the win here?
This is a map that Epsilon have done very well on, well in the past, and the reason why you don't see Epsilon playing it very often is because it gets banned out a lot against them.
True. It gets banned out in general quite a bit, to be fair.
It does. You know, a lot of teams just don't feel comfortable playing it, and yeah, so it's been banned out here. Sorry, it hasn't been banned out here. It's been picked, and you know, I think this favors Epsilon quite well. Can keep that. You've seen how well they did when the game was at long range. And that's something I think they plan to exploit in this game. I expect to see some building destruction coming in. And I really feel that if there is a map pick that really does just give a default win in a way, I kind of feel that it'll be this map for Epsilon.
Well, you certainly have faith. I'm not sure I'm of the same opinion. I've seen these guys on this map before, and I don't know. I always see this map as fast-paced, fast rotates, very... I think it's a very InFamouS style map or a cheesy Dignitas style map. But, you know, as you said, if they're able to actually keep the opponents at that range, maintain those long-range exchanges, you know, lock down the street, get set up, then I guess you are quite correct that if they can do that, then certainly a team to watch out for. But then again, I'd have said Shanghai would be an Epsilon map over InFamouS' style. InFamouS were always that close-range team. And Shanghai, it has close-range elements, but it's certainly not the biggest factor onto it. But nevertheless, they picked it up. I'm actually very impressed with InFamouS coming into the season so far, and I don't want to fall into the same trap I did last season where I was like, yeah, they're a really good team. And then they go and let me down harmlessly. But if they keep this up, they could certainly do something quite impressive. I'm hoping they kind of can here, but obviously you guys at home, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think it will be indeed Epsilon picking this map up, or will InFamouS get the 2 maps and walk away with this? I don't know. I'm not sure here. I'm really not sure.
I would love for Epsilon to get 2-0'd, only because Asterix had the nerve to say something nasty to me in the pre-game stuff. So for that alone, I want them to lose. But at the same time, Epsilon's lineup, they are, I would say, a lot stronger. It's just that they sometimes get maybe a bit too cocky and don't cover their bases. And Shanghai's it's chaos, that map. Sometimes it is non-stop fighting. There's no breathing room at all for both teams. And we know how that in Battlefield in general is quite chaotic, but on Siege there is no breathing room at all.
No, I tend to agree, but we'll find out here going into this one. Obviously, guys, make sure you tweet through to myself at the Coin Pants. You can see it down next to me. But let's jump into the game anyway. I'm going to throw you guys into the game so you can see we are just waiting on one of the players to join us here. I believe it's one of InFamouS's. I think he just timed out, so hopefully he can rejoin us here. But if people are new to, let's say, the competitive side of Battlefield, and we don't really see this map much, what are the ideal setups they'll be looking to get in towards, especially from, let's say, Epsilon's favor, who like that long-range gameplay?
Epsilon will definitely be looking for that BC. No, sorry. What you could see here, and something we've seen them do before, is the BC hold with someone on the upper buildings behind the C flag, using the support class to just give supporting fire on the two flags that they control. And with that, pinning down the spawns as well, making sure no one can spawn behind them. And really just, change up the game, keeping InFamouS as far away from the flags as possible. And that's something we've seen them do in the past. But, at the same time, I don't know if Epsilon want to be that predictable. And it's something that they'll have to change up because it won't work forever.
That's a very good point, and I did forget they were one of the teams that did utilize that back C area. Normally it's like, oh god, I just spawn back here more than anything, but they are a team that certainly does go for it, and they do actually enjoy going for that. So I'm hoping maybe we see it, because I haven't seen it in a while, because obviously no one else really does it. It's quite a unique factor towards them, and I completely forgot because I haven't seen them on this map in a long time. And I'm used to now the Dingtas style of play because they destroy every building, then run at people. It's glorious, but kind of curious if we're going to see that engineer class in play. You can hear the RPGs flying around the map and making a big bit of mess. Who is that? Who are you? Marzu. There we go. See, I missed the EOD bots though of Dignitas.
I couldn't keep it together in the when Dignitas and MYM were playing around with the EOD bots. I was just like, don't laugh, Dogbot, don't laugh, Dogbot. And I was just like, I can't.
Dogbot laughed.
Yeah.
It's hard not to. It's hard not to. They are. Seeing EOD battles just going down is always good. I think we should do knife rounds like that rather than doing like sides and stuff like that in other games. You have to knife a side. I want to see an EOD bot battle to decide which side you start on.
Yeah, it should be done. I'm surprised it hasn't had more videos with the EOD bots.
Is your video plan done yet, or is it still not been done?
I've never really got round to it. I really should sort it out.
You do need to sort it out. That's some YouTube money. That's some YouTube dollars being ready to be made. Just get Jack Rags to like it and you'll be golden. You'll be fine. Sorted. Easy enough. But yeah, as obviously, guys, you can see that if I can do it correctly, there we go. Only 4 players are in for InFamouS. We are still waiting on the 5th. Come back in. Epic, he come back. That's always a good sign. So hopefully he does join us here. I get a little nervous when I see these guys not joining the server. It's just like, oh no. Oh no. But still, yes, we do want to see Dogbot's beautiful EOD bot video.
We were playing on Locker before. All I could think of the whole way through the game, especially when it was one-sided and we had a lot of time to think, I was just like, man, I really enjoyed it when it was MYM versus Dig on Locker. That was nail-biting stuff.
Yeah, that was I haven't actually gone back and watched that game yet. I think I might have to. I saw it obviously in the highlight video, which I'll play at the end of this this stream. But I think I have to watch the whole thing from start to finish because you kind of miss some of the brilliance, even in the highlight clip. It was just so damn close. That was an awesome game. Yeah, I think tonight I'm going to go back home and be a sad loser and watch that VOD back. As much as I don't like hearing my own voice, I don't know why you guys listen to it at home, but I might have to mute it and then watch it and just have a good time. I think it's the only way forward. And it was funny, I was casting Koa recently. He's transferred away from Battlefield, it seems. He's gone to another, and he's still appalling. It's very upsetting. I was very disappointed in the Swede. He let me down. But still. Let's see. Anyone rejoining? No. No one's rejoining.
stunning.
This is great. I love it. I
Maybe
love
he went to watch the VODs.
Maybe he did. He was like, screw this. I want to watch the last season. Because, well, InFamous didn't get to see much of it, so I wouldn't blame them, to be fair. They kind of got stunted a little early in their route through. And I was so disappointed, though. If any of you guys at home did actually watch this before, or watch the offline finals of last season, I was saying from the very offset, InFamous, dark horses, they'll do well. Great team, French side towards, you know, the late part of the season. They're like the new Pyrogen. No, they're not. I was so sad. So sad when I said that. And I even got grief from Jason Kaplan. Jason, I don't know Battlefield Kaplan. It was very upsetting. Very upsetting. But still, I don't know. I'm not yet to quite get over it. It still kind of haunts me a little. They did so badly. I put my faith in them, they let me down. And the worst thing was I was trying to explain to another caster some of the tactics in Battlefield, like using, you know, the map overview videos, and or the map overview like drawing tools, and trying to explain what InFamous used to do, or any French team used to do, was absolutely ridiculous trying to explain to anyone. It just doesn't make sense. So it's like, most people will do this, ignore all of that, and then rush at them if you are French. It generally works.
Yeah, they do just charge you down and hope everything goes over. But there you go. We have 5 people in the server.
Yay! I can stop talking nonsense. And that's all we wanted to hear. So, Railway will be up next. First map, surprisingly, in InFamous's hands, but have they let the ball drop a bit and let this map go through? This is the big question here. You know, I haven't seen these guys play this map in a while, so I'm still a little curious to see if Epsilon do have that kind of unique playstyle that they used to. But we're going to find out, because Epsilon will be, I believe, starting on the Russian side. The Chinese side will be InFamous. And what sort of start do you think we can get off to here?
I would not be surprised to see a standard real push here. Both teams trying to get their foothold onto their given flags. So it will be InFamous going for A, probably pushing out to C, and you'll see Epsilon taking an easy CB here.
Well, let's find out. We do see an engineer class in both teams' hands. An Asterix, really? Is he really running with that?
What's he gone for?
Look at his gun. He's doing the Epsilon thing. He is doing the Epsilon thing. There we go. So he'll be going back towards the backseat buildings, as you mentioned. He's going to be playing there. But actually, Epsilon went for the challenge with InFamous, and this could go terribly wrong, actually.
Yeah, this couldn't... It all depends on if they can actually keep someone close by to keep a flag. Oh man, that gun comes into play immediately. And it's all about just making sure they have someone to keep a capture, because even if they have a gunner up there, if a flag gets captured out and they have no one else to keep it back in their favor, then it's kind of a wasted player.
But credit to them, they're trying it out, and right now InFamous do not have the way in towards the site. And we are seeing it come into effect here. So pushing in, let's see if it actually does pick up any kills here. Marzu is the one laying down those, well, rockets from afar. You can see the heavy machine gun fire coming in from Asterix with an M2400B, even if I can say its name correctly. But as you said, he's got a lot of fire in there. He can't really put down the med packs for himself. He is not a medic, so he could be in trouble from this. But InFamous just seem to want to go for the immediate scrap, and it's really not paying out for them. Yeah,
definitely. You see the InFamous just keep coming forward here, and this might go massively in their favor here. Oh my god, that fire from Asterix just came in and cleared them up. This is brutal.
Yeah, but Kremer did pick up a 4-man there in C, but as you said, in the end, Duke comes down after that fire coming through from Asterix, and it's this weird exchange between these two teams, and I don't know why InFamous have not even looked at B really yet. There are angles you can find to cover yourself off, but you know, finally we're seeing a little bit of fire from InFamous. They're having to start pushing these guys. Asterix has gone down, but still, InFamous, there's more sites than just C. There's a whole B one that one of you is staring at. You might want to start toying with the idea of taking it, because you are 30 tickets down and you're not doing a great deal at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that went huge there for them is not only did they stop that big push, got loads of kills, they got 2 5-man wipes there, because the spawn came right below Asterix. They got the kills, and someone from InFamous had a sniper rifle.
Wow, as you do.
And he paid for it with his life.
Yeah, I think he certainly did. So Hysteria will be picking up A, but still, finally looking towards B. Here we go. Epsilon remembering there might be some sort of fire here, but look at the B site. It is literally an open field now. The walls have been removed. There is no cover, and you can see that playing into Epsilon's hands because they can now sit Asterix back here. He can look over B, he can look over C. He just needs to be a little careful he doesn't get pushed. And it's just very smart play all in all. There's very little they can do against this. It's a unique strategy that is a completely scumbag thing to do, but it's working.
It's working because they managed to get people up to Asterix when they needed them. And that's the big thing. Like, you're leaving the guy up there is fine, but you either give up a ghost on defending that, or you always have a player up there to help them. So they realized top of them, and they brought in reinforcements.
So, right now, let's keep on board with Epsilon for a little while. David has just picked up the A flag. Marzu there over by C. And you can see these guys just... It's a really weird playstyle this time. And I'm just going to free cam around because it's a really weird way of seeing Goldmud played out. It's not a common sight to see. You're seeing A still in the hands of Epsilon, B being theirs, and C also being capped over. There is a reason, I guess, that most people don't play these guys at this map, and I'm surprised that InFamouS have not got an answer for this. They're missing rocket launchers. That has just gone to wake up the Yeti in the background. That's not going to go too well. Finally, InFamouS do get a couple of kills, but I'm baffled that they've not been able to work this one out.
Yeah, it's pretty chaotic right now, and, you know, there's a big lead that Epsilon have come away with right now. And it's how Epsilon want to keep this going, because they can fall back to the same position, or they can now try and play this a bit straight up.
Let's find out. It's gone well to a point where Marzu was waiting, and let's bear in mind, these were close games before the cheesy tactics started to happen for Epsilon, and now it's just really not helped InFamouS. Obviously, InFamouS are up a map. This could look like it could go to 3 if, well, if InFamouS don't get Epsilon below 70 tickets. It's so hard to dig yourself out of that, especially with such a unique start. But finally, a 2-1 hold did begin. B now being lost out. David getting over there by himself. And it's, I don't know what to say about this. I'm a little bit flabbergasted that InFamouS didn't expect this to an extent.
Yeah, as soon as I seen Asterix running around for support in the startup, I kind of had a really feel that they were going to go for it. I'm actually surprised, like you said, that InFamouS didn't read it better, because it's something that they've gone for a load of times. But here you go, InFamouS getting a 5-man wipe and going for a trip cap here. This is their response.
They definitely needed it. It took its damn sweet time. It's only 5 minutes in, but you can see the effect of those 5 minutes at the moment. 109-43. Tony moving in for a little cheeky kill there and pick up towards Marzu. But at the moment, look who's getting back into position. It's Asterix. He's getting back up on that beautiful little ledge of his. He's going to just put down that bipod and go to town. Tony falls, and we are back in the same situation. And no one really able to find a challenge here. It's unreal to watch. Absolutely unbelievable. And Kremer not actually going for the challenge onto it. I'm surprised he didn't go out on his own, leave the site, and go for the challenge. But maybe he can do some work from the back. Leave them just there, but they need to make sure they maintain on B, surely.
Yeah, they need to. They're going to lose out on that B flag. There's nothing they can do. And they're feeding more and more people into C, which is fine. But they need to get rid of Asterix. And they can either allow someone to stay up there and just try and zerg other flags. The problem is that bipod is just messing them up. There you go. It finally goes down, and it was a sniper rifle from Mysteria. And there you go. There's their chance now.
I hate to say it, but Battlefield might have crashed.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I will try and get this fixed for you guys at home. DirectX being the issue more than anything. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. I do apologize. The joys of live streaming. It never ends. So do bear with me. I will get back into the server as soon as possible. I'm not sure what on earth was going down.
Not much has changed.
Yeah, just keep going.
Flag. But they've given up, I think, with Asterix up. And yeah, he's changed now. He's gone back to Ace. But InFamouS now are having a much better go at it. But because that C flag has been torn up, there's no cover at all. So trying to cap that flag over is nigh impossible. And there you go. It's going to be a CB hold right now. And Epsilon slowly keeping that lead going.
I hope they are. I hope they are. I hope they don't let me down.
26.
We'd rejoin the server, guys. This is my life, ladies and gents. This is my life. It's loading in. Oh, see, it was going so well. I'm in a brand new studio. I was like, yeah, I'm doing all the production stuff right. Nope.
Something just happened. There's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, woo, fun times. We are loading back in right now. You can hear the music in the background, excuse me. Oh, it was just that my PC was so disgusted with what Asterix was doing that it just couldn't handle it. So we are back in the game. Woo! Alrighty. It looks like we are there. I do apologize once again. Let's get back into this one. Woo, it's one of those days. But 65-12, it looks like, well, the rather ingenious plan of Asterix has gone to plan. And he's actually switched up away from that class. Why so?
Well, I think it's time to just play straight up. There's no need to keep leaving someone up there. And InFamouS, we're starting to wise up to a bit. And especially if someone's already spawned in a sniper rifle to get rid of you, probably should just get close quarter now and just finish them off, you know? And with that being said, you know, they had a bit of a lead. It's still a significant one. But InFamouS has started to kind of get back into it, really.
Yeah, they certainly chipped away a little. Yeah, they don't have many left, don't get me wrong, but they certainly chipped away at the gigantic above 100 and something lead that Epsilon built up, and maybe this time we'll see InFamouS go for a smarter start. They were really struggling in the beginning. 4 tickets now remaining. They're surely done on this half. They have got a 2-to-1 hold, but still, any respawns coming in will be the death of them pretty much. And as Kremlin is already down, he cannot come back into the game unless they want to lose another ticket. Probably not ideal. Tony falling down on towards C is going to make it even harder, as we are going to see a three-man stack out towards the site, and they are still chipping away. Let's bear in mind, InFamouS are doing what they can. They're down to 1 ticket. It's not looking too good. And if B doesn't go in their favor, which I think it should do, it'd be over and done with. But credit to them, considering they had above 100 tickets against them, they've certainly brought back a fair amount here. And this is, the fighting kind of, let's say, attitude that InFamouS have that you've got to respect sometimes. They're not going down without a fight. Epsilon struggling to break across the road. Finally taking down Perlin is going to give a little bit of a route for MarzU to get over towards that B side. But let's bear in mind, no respawns now, down to 2 players. But 39 tickets, very respectable. If they even get that, I think they will in the end, obviously, as MarzU is up on this site. So maybe 38, 39 will be the ending marker. 39 tickets all in all. Not a bad, really bad way to go about things, I've got to say it. I'm fairly impressed.
Yeah, considering how bad it was looking for them, as soon as they get 39 tickets instead of what could have been easily over 100, that's kind of a coup for them. Obviously, it could have gone better, but you know, that is something that I kind of expected Epsilon to do, and InFamouS just walked straight into it.
Yeah, they definitely did. So I do apologize once again about the game crashing out there. I'm sure all of you guys did actually enjoy that, for one, in Twitch chat. You know, any reason for that to happen. I'm going to blame it on Jason. Jason probably crashed it. I think that's a good idea. I think he did that. It wasn't the game. There's nothing to do with that. It was definitely Jason. So I'm going to remove my energy drink away. I'm leaving. I'm literally so unprofessional today. It's terrible. I'm going to be fired soon. Leaving a drink on the desk, Coke on the desk, Coca-Cola. And then the game, well, Jason crashing the game. Dear Lord. But anyway, we'll be going on into the second half very soon. I do once again apologize. There's only so much I can do from my side. It's a new studio. What do you expect to happen? It's always beautiful fun. But still, let's talk about that ticket lead. 39 tickets in the favor of Epsilon. It's not a gigantic amount compared to what we've seen them come away with before. And let's bear in mind, Epsilon did have the lead on the first half of the first map. So is this going to be a repeat of the first map, or is this Epsilon just, you know, maybe missing a trick towards the end of that first half?
I think it got a bit messy at the end there, but that's because of the way they were destroying a lot of the terrain. Therefore, capturing flags when they're not in your hands becomes very, very difficult. And, you know, this time, InFamouS are going to probably start off with a C and B flag capture. They will have the bleed, so they will have the kind of the luxury of defending the initial attack.
So basically, Asterix cannot just run up here. This is what he can't directly do. But we'll see anyway. We'll see what Epsilon come up with, as they will be obviously on the Chinese side this time around. So let me switch that through for you guys. You're seeing the engineer class coming to play. Those walls are being decimated as we speak. And you can hear them whizzing past in the background. First kill being picked up, however, will be MarzU and David going down to InFamouS. BC being held, and actually it looks like we might see a quick push coming out from InFamouS towards A as well. It looks like Hysteria is willing to challenge. This is a more normally played out beginning to Railway, but at the moment Hysteria picking up MarzU there, and I'm more worried if Tony can hold this site alone. I'm terrified of seeing Asterix get behind InFamouS here. This could go all wrong very quickly.
Yeah, Horrocks always the danger man. Always manages to get through. And there's Grimjaw going down. So that B flag is now wide open. And InFamouS here really are slow on the rotations. They're allowing themselves to get bottled up at C. And Horrocks just helping this containment by just keeping himself and keeping the other team busy.
Yeah, thank God for Tony. He does pick up one at least on the way through, trying to be a little cautious on the peaks there, making sure no one's on the roof. But in the meantime, B is being capped up. You know, David was straight over there, no messing around. Finally, InFamouS using that little rock, hopping up and over, trying to get on towards the side. There's a player tucked into the corner. Hysteria goes down, and mazu and Horek mopping up the kills. And as you said, very slow stuff from InFamouS, not applying the pressure straight away, not realizing how quickly that maybe A would become B, and even C now being challenged over by Horek. This could be a disaster.
Yeah, and this is just messy. I don't see how InFamouS got themselves in the position. They didn't have to do what they did. They went aggressive at A, and it really backfired badly. And now they're just stuck at this C flag. And Horek is just pinning them all down.
This is disastrous for InFamouS. They're not looking so solid this time around, and Hysteria does get a nice little spawn towards the back of A, but rather going for the flag, going to try and get the building control. He does spot one on the mid road. That's Duke down and out, trying to make sure he's cleaning out the areas for his teammates to get through. Takes out the window. It's time to eye up that B site, but there still are 2 players for Epsilon here, and those tickets are now in Epsilon's hands. They've got the lead, they've got the advantage, but can they maintain? C is open for the taking for InFamouS. They're going to get that one, but B also being challenged. This could be a triple cap if they defend this one off.
Yeah, they need to defend correctly, and right now, there you go. They have got the capture and the kills. And it's just David 2K left, probably the smartest guy in Battlefield, and he's just going to wait it out. And at the same time, there are 1v1s going on all over the place.
Yeah, and 2 respawns, and the resources put towards C was a big mistake. Players like Perlin and Grimjaw then just mopped them up, giving them an extended triple cap. David, smart as he may be, he's not getting the real, I don't know, penetration is a terrible word to use, but it's true about that B site. And look where the rest of Epsilon are. Are they going to fall back towards this top end side by C, or is it just going to be an extended hold for a little longer in the favor to InFamouS?
Well, getting caught out far at C is the worst place to be, and right now you can see Hysteria coming up to get more kills, and all of a sudden this is looking amazingly good for InFamouS. But they're so far forward here, but more importantly, they're getting the kills and the revives, and
David.
This is keeping... Where is... Oh my god, that's a big, big spawn for them.
You said how far forward they were. You said how aggressive InFamouS were. This is what happens when you don't maintain that safe line of denying those random respawns. It comes into the backside, and they're in trouble. They must deal with this threat, and damn quickly. Asterix gets the revive, but there's the cleanup squad, but they've lost out on C in the meantime. They must be able to maintain the streak now. They must get themselves set up and ready to receive whatever Epsilon are going to throw at them. There's the first crosser getting over. No real tags being done. Horek doing the job as well, and that's Duke making it across. Hysteria finds him on the site, but mazu sneaking around A long. But at the moment, it's InFamouS with the lead, but I've got to feel it was down to that fantastic B and A setup that really pushed the Epsilon side back to that uncomfortable spot by C.
Yeah, and InFamouS keeping people close to C and trying to force some spawns over there because they know that there is someone around B. And they're getting the kills, and all of a sudden, Epsilon are starting to look really shaky here.
They definitely are, and look how long mazu's been waiting around by this B flag. He's probably been waiting for Duke to come over here, try and get some support. Duke tucks himself away in a corner that he thought was covered. He does get the spot as well. Epsilon really putting numbers in towards this side. Let's hope it pays off for them, and at the moment, it's not. Perlin's found Duke. There's one man in the building. That's David, though. David, big player for Epsilon, toying with those windows. But, oh, Perlin gets caught by the nade in the end, but the site's still his. And they did have the triple cap. This has gone unbelievably wrong for Epsilon. They're going to have to pull this one out of the bag if they want to pick up a win here.
Yeah, all of a sudden, InFamouS are just beasting them. And they've got players in the right place to defend these flags. And this is just amazing work from them.
It's unbelievable. Tony doing the job. Hysteria, perfect balance between aggression and defensive play. And, well, mazu got himself in a good spot there, but not good enough. But wiped them out, forcing that random spawn. Dangerous, but to what extent? This is getting very low for Epsilon. Even with that lead on the first half in mind, InFamouS are definitely in control. They might lose out on A here, though. They don't have the advantage of numbers. Horek is on the prowl. He's going to get taken down. And this could indeed go InFamouS's way. David, once again, the last man standing. Epsilon are falling to pieces. What on earth has happened to these guys, Dogbert?
I have no idea. I think Epsilon are really just a bit shaky, but more importantly, InFamouS are really just on a high right now. But there you go. Finally, they got the kills, and maybe they're going to get the C flag under their belt. And there you go. They've almost got a full wipe of their own here.
Yeah, there's the turning point. This must be the sticking turning point as well, let's bear in mind. This can't be a flash in the pan. They need this. 39 tickets is the lowest threshold for InFamouS now, and they are swarming over C. But Duke, being a nuisance, being a pest, picks up the first, tries to be a little bit of a Kobe Bryant shot. They're not going to happen. He gets taken down for his troubles, and a very quick cross out from Tony might mean a little bit more of an easy foothold in towards this B site.
Yeah, and there's the kill on David UK. It's opened up that B flag, and all of a sudden, InFamouS once again are on the attack. This is forcing Epsilon to come forward and being very, very aggressive, and something that they have not been having to do for quite a while.
Oh, and Tony with the double in the end, picking them up on that B side, denying the recamp. Finally fell down to Asterix, and a sneaky play from Marzu might keep options available, but look how low Epsilon's tickets are. These are the guys that have won so many of these cups, who are now struggling against InFamouS. Can you believe it? And it looks like Hysteria has a clear route towards A. This could be almost over, Dog.
Yeah, definitely. And Jim George just almost got himself completely killed by just dropping out of the building. But yeah, you can see Epsilon are kind of panicking here. Everyone's just running for flags, not going for the kills. And all of a sudden, there's the music, and man, Epsilon must be kicking themselves right now. They need to get on this B flag and capture it over quickly.
Well, they've got two players on there right now, two willing to challenge from InFamouS. InFamouS willing to go for these aggressive exchanges. It's not, however, gone too well. They've left A completely open. Hysteria being found at C has forced this back spawn. InFamouS need to be damn fast here. 9 tickets left. There could be a triple cap for Epsilon, let's bear in mind. Kremer dives down, Swan diving into cover. Here we go. This has to be a smart bit of play from InFamouS as well. Epsilon will fight till that last ticket is available. Perlin on the fast push out from C. But we're seeing even C being challenged over. Is not a clean pickup. You've got the likes of Asterix in it. This is the triple cap. There was the danger. Hysteria's gone down. And this is not over just yet. Epsilon is still fighting for this one, Dog, but
yeah, definitely. They can still win this. It's all about these 1v1s. It's a 1-on-1 at C and a 1-on-2 at B. And all of a sudden, InFamouS are getting really sloppy on their flag captures here. But there's a big spawn for them out at A. And their rotations are coming in. Epsilon might be able to steal this one here.
Let's find out. The threshold is 39. If InFamouS drop below that, they have thrown away the phenomenal game they've just had. But 2 sites up in the air. Right now, it looks like Epsilon will be winning out on this B side. They already have C. The tickets are so damn low for both. InFamouS are now struggling. They're pushing in. They're being mowed down. Horex's done the job, surely. 48 tickets now. The last push coming out from InFamouS. They're just seconds away from being out of this game. Kremer and Hysteria win over on B. This could be it. The final push now from Epsilon. If they deny this, if they pick up that B flag, they will win. But with 4 tickets left, it's getting too low. David's found Perlin, but Kremer denies. 1 ticket remains, and can you believe it? Epsilon just stumbling at the final hurdle, and InFamouS pick up the game. Wow.
That was an amazing comeback from InFamouS, and they just absolutely smashed Epsilon for a large part of that game. I loved how they played, but man, that was a comeback and a half.
Oh yeah, call them the comeback kids, because they just absolutely went crazy. I'm just baffled that it came down to that point, though, that InFamouS was so, downtrodden on that first half, and then in the second, they just came back stronger than I really expected. And I didn't expect Asterix to never play that position again. It worked so well from the offset. I thought, why would you not go back there? Was it because they exhausted it so early on?
You need loads of other players to work for it as well. You need other people to get rocket launchers out as well.
Yeah.
It takes more than just one player to do it. And, their comp wasn't set up for it. They had to react too much because InFamouS were just constantly attacking them.
Well, I've got to say, for my first cup coming back to Battlefield, it's not been a bad day through and through. I've got to say that. Epsilon, very surprised to see them struggling at this point. Not what I expected to see overall, in complete honesty there. A team that generally does make it all the way through to at least the semi-finals. If they, let's say, met Fnatic a little earlier, then that might be the case. But this time, it was a newcomer to the kind of fold of that sort of knocking a big team out of the quarters. It's InFamouS. And I thought they might struggle, now losing out on the things like the FamouS being in their hands. But they seem to come out even stronger here. So certainly a team to keep your eyes on. But overall, let's check in with how the games are starting to look throughout this. There we go, pressing the right buttons. So the top game was Fnatic Meteor Makers. We expected that one right, but Team Dignitas. Dogbert, what happened? Round of 16 is not good enough for Team Dignitas. Come on, buddy.
Well, no idea what happened, but you know, I'm sure when they have a normal 5-man, they'll do a little bit better.
Well, that's what we hope at least. Otherwise, oof. Finland might get a little colder. Who knows? But still, them going out a little early on. Gamers Connection will be facing off against Evernity Gaming there in the quarterfinals. And we can have a little bit of a prediction throughout of how we feel this one might go. At least towards the semi-finals. So I'd say Fnatic up against GC in the top. Do you agree? Or do you think maybe Meet Your Makers could do something there?
I think we'll see Fnatic, GC, and probably Planet Key versus InFamouS. I was going to say Epsilon.
Yeah, but can you believe it? Pyrogen losing out to No Mercy as well.
Yeah, a 2-1 victory there. Really solid. You know, No Mercy are getting better.
Yeah,
and
they
I think
definitely
they've
are.
Picked up a few extra players, so, you know, I think they've got a very good chance in the upcoming future.
Well, I'd love to see that game, and obviously tomorrow we will be kicking off with the semi-finals there, which is the important factor, and then obviously the grand finals following. But I believe that's pretty much it from us today, and yeah, hopefully you guys at home have had fun and enjoyed the show. If you have, make sure you follow myself on Twitter at TheyCallMePansy. Make sure you follow this page on Twitch TV, because this is where we go live every time we do one of the cups, and there'll be a hell of a lot more cups to come. Let's be serious. This is number 2 out of 4, 2 play days per cup. You know, one on the January today, which is Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not. And then the following day on Wednesday. So make sure you tune back in. Tomorrow we'll be going live with the next cup, obviously the 18th, at the same time. 7 CEST is the summertime, I believe, at the moment. Or if you want to put in GMT 1 hour earlier. And then if you aren't around tomorrow, but you want to keep up to date, head over towards the ESL-1.com site and check it out for yourselves. All the VODs are available there of the previous seasons that have been phenomenal to this point. And obviously Cup 1 as well, if you want to kind of catch up on the teams and your thoughts towards it. But guys, once again, it's been a great time, you know, chilling out with you guys at home. Thank you for bearing with me through the crash, and thank you very much, Dogbert, as well, for joining me. And make sure you follow my co-caster on Twitter at DignitasDogbert. He is our pretty much resident pro at Battlefield. He makes me sound like I know what I'm saying, which is a bit of a talent within itself. So guys, this has been the Seasonal Cup number 2 for the ESL 1. We'll be back tomorrow with even better games in the semi-final and grand finals. Do make sure you follow the Twitch page. Do make sure you follow on Twitter. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow.